Hello dear listeners, in my last video I have spoken about Kali remedies or potassium element. In today's talk I will talk about calcium element, which is also known as a calcarea remedies in Overmetia Medica. There are many remedies which are made from calcium, like our famous calcarea carb, calcarea phos, calcarea fluor. In today's talk I will discuss the basic theme or the picture of the calcium group of remedies. So in calcarea, you will see this 4 series issues very prominently. Issues related to family, security, money, health. You will find in calcarea remedy in totality. In calcarea patient, you can see the profound feeling of being observed or a fear of criticism, which makes it different from other 4th series element. Calcium as a remedy is known for its extreme sensitivity to being observed. But when you carefully examine the feeling of being observed or fear of criticism or feeling of being watched, then you will find out that it is essentially a symptom of stage 2 elements. In stage 2 elements, 4 out of 6 remedies has this deep-seated fear of being observed. Here I'm talking about baryta, magnesium, beryllium and calcarea. In stage 2 elements, 4 out of 6 remedies display a deep-seated fear of being observed. This fear is profoundly ingrained in their personality. When it comes to fear of being observed, then 2 other remedies are very prominent, like carcinosin or aquamarina. I have found that they also have this immense fear of being observed or a fear of doing right because they are being watched or observed by others. Carcinosin remedy belong to cancer miasm, where people try to pretend to be a perfect, like Staphylococcus aureus, but all cancer miasm remedy do not have this prominent fear of being observed, but they have this fear of being controlled or losing control. This is the main theme of cancer miasm, but I will talk about this miasmatic remedies in some other video. Now come back to calcarea element. I will discuss the stage 2 features in future with more details, because I feel that this whole stage need to be talked and in more details, because it contains a lot of really important remedies. You know, that's why I like the systematic approach in homeopathy. It truly helps us to understand the remedies by categorizing them into groups. This allows us to easily identify patterns and themes among remedies or group of remedies, which was challenging before. Now we have successfully categorized this entire kingdoms, making the process much more accessible and organized. Because of this, we are able to access those lesser known remedies. Now, regarding calcarea or calcium element, those patients needing calcarea remedies, they seek support and protection. It's essential for them to be fed constantly by a good support. They have this clear feeling that I'm weak, I cannot go on by myself. That's why calcarea remedies are frequently used in children cases, such as well-known remedy calcarea carb or calcarea phos. Those individuals requiring calcarea remedies often experience significant anxieties and fears when taking on tasks without guidance or support. They commonly express the sentiment that they cannot handle the task but requires the backing or support of their parents. So this support issue is very important. So they always need that support, some kind of support. It's easy to recognize this remedy in a children's, but when these people grown up or got married, then they usually behave very strangely to the situations, or they develop a lot of fears or weaknesses. Usually calcarea fathers produce a very fearful or anxious kids. I will share in future few cases of Calcarea element, which will definitely help you to understand its practical manifestation in practice. I have already discussed Calcarea phos and Calcarea sulf in my previous videos, where I have spoken about sulfur or phosphorus element in combination with Calcarea. Please check my YouTube channel for more information. Now, if we look more closely to all the remedies from stage 2 or column 2, means Beretta, magnesium, beryllium, Calcarea, then they all need some kind of support to perform their task or to perform or thrive in their day-to-day activity. For instance, magnesiums require support in relationship building or maintaining those relations. Beretta needs support in taking on responsibilities. Strontium needs support to execute or implement ideas. Beryllium needs support in basic existence. So essentially, the support issue is the basic or the common theme among all the remedies belong to stage 2. I will talk into more details about column 2 in future. This issue or the theme of support, you can also see in C remedies as well. Of course, Calcarea carb is also considered a C remedy because it is made of a seashell. I will make a separate video on the topic of C remedies, but keep in mind that C remedies also show very prominent needs for support like spongia or coryllium. But in Calcarea, one of the main problem is that if they show the weak side or show their fears, then they feel that they are even more weaker. So they try to show a stronger side of them, but they cannot be able to hide their fears as well. Then they have this theme of threat, danger. They have this feeling of that something is coming from outside or threaten their safety. That's why we can see a very strong fear of being seen, fear of penetration, fear of infectious diseases, poverty, misfortune, accidents. This is one of the main problem of Calcarea, because all these ways someone can break into their security or safety. In children, these fears are very common. As soon as they go to bed and get alone, then they become terrified. To compensate this feeling of threat or this feeling of something is going to threaten their security, they make a sort of shell or kind of a protection or protective environment. If you translate it into pathological way, they form a cyst or abscess around the problem to cover up this issue. That's why Calcarea is a great remedy in the glandular issues or skin related issues, because skin and the glands are the first line of defense in your immunity. So Calcarea people always need secure environment, and anything which can damage their security or existence make them panic. Like we see in Calcarea carb, it becomes a problem when something potentially makes them vulnerable because they don't know how to push it out. Even their own thoughts, it is difficult for them to push them out. That's why they have this fear of their own thoughts. It's a main remedy under this rubric. Do you know which other remedy has this fear of their own thoughts? It's scorpion. Then this feeling of a threat or a threat to their security or health is also very important theme in Calcarea remedies. As I have discussed in my last video, that this security issues, security to the money, stability in their health issues, family, that all comes in 4 series. The issue of a shell or protection, as I said, very common in C remedies. This you can see in sepia, turtle and other C remedies, especially the remedies which belong to mollusk group of remedies. Whenever anything threatens their existence, they try to run away or cover them up in protective attitude. In future, I will share a case of sepia and a turtle to show how these remedies behave in a different environment. Timidity is another symptom of Calcarea. they blush when they get timid, or that when they face a new situation. So they try to avoid those situations. So this timidity is also a kind of withdrawal attitude of these people. There is another remedy in column 2, which is also famous for its timidity attitude, which is Beretta. And in Beretta as well, you can also see the timidity to avoid the people, the responsibility. So that is also a kind of withdrawal attitude from the rest of the world. As I said, Calcarea patients are very insecure. So they are more interested in collecting things or securing their environment like money or food. Things that guarantee to them that they are safe. They want to earn or save enough money to become stronger. Mostly they can perform their day-to-day tasks very easily when things are easy and not requiring enough effort. Then weakness is another theme you can see in Calcarea elements, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically as well. But in Calcarea carb and Calcarea iodatum, we see the sign of obesity very prominently. Means it is used in obese patients. Those are fluffy or fatty, but despite their obese physique, they are weak. This extra fat deposition is same attitude as I have discussed above, this collecting things, securing their environment. If you are more interested in this topic of obesity or top remedies used in homeopathy in the cases of obesity, then I have made a separate video. Please check my YouTube channel, and I have already put a link of that video in description. Now about another theme which you can also see in Calcarea elements is dependency, which we commonly see in Calcarea patients. These patients do their best to hide their dependency. Their support must be on their back, not on their side. It's important for them not to show that they need to be supported that much. They are afraid that if they behave in a bad way, their support will leave. That's why you see that they will do anything possible to prevent the support leaving them, including try to appear strong. These people are very creative and productive as well if they are inside their little house. So they can be more productive. These children are very active when they are in their house. Keep in mind, I have already discussed this extreme dependency in magnesium element, which is also a stage 2 remedy. But magnesium has the dependency in the relationship. Now, this dependency sometimes looks like immaturity or slow development in Calcarea patients. These symptoms prominently express in children. Keep in mind, Calcarea carb is famous remedy in the cases of fatty dwarf children. Calcarea phos has also this height issue in children. Another remedy which belong to stage 2 is Beretta, which I have also given successfully in many cases of slow growth or in cases of dwarfism in children. So this Calcarea element or the whole stage 2 or the column 2 remedies has this immaturity or slow development of mental capacities and physical features. That's why you see in Calcarea carb children, they find it difficult or you find it desired not to leave the breast of the mother for any reason. Breast of the mother means support here. So they don't want to leave the support of the mother. In this way, they show precisely not to grow. They like to remain a child in some way, because if they are childlike, then they can get all the support of the people around them. So they are slow in learning, speaking and walking as well. And even when they are grown up, then they develop some other mental issues like concentration problems, memory issues, fears, anxieties. And then they have this worries about futures, health, money, family, which can practically keep all the family closer to them. So they keep getting this emotional support from all the people around them. which is a same theme which I have discussed above, the desire to get the enough sport and this dependency issue in Calcarea patients. Now let's talk about their fears. They are scared of everything, basically. Money, health, health of the loved ones, security, home, mortgage, heart diseases. They are even afraid of being afraid. That's why I said they have this fear of their own thoughts. These fears can take on many forms, and when it is not a specific fear, it turns into a fear of everything. So basically they have this fear of everything. They do not want to confront their fears. They do whatever is possible to escape from the fears. That's why you see this stubborn attitude in these people, because they do not want to face those fears. And this is also you see in children's, because they don't want to sleep, because then they get this extreme fears, extreme fearful dreams. They don't want to go to bed because they are afraid of those dreams. They are afraid of those situations in which they are alone and get threatened from the environment. This is what we prominently see in Calcarea children's, that they have this fear of dark, fear of monsters, fear of horror scenes. You see this attitude in children's, that they are somehow okay as long as they are with their parents. But as soon as they are alone, they get disturbed or become fearful. And in young Calcarea patients, any fearful condition or thinking of that condition trigger this heart palpitations or this fear of heart attack. And they are also scared of this losing of their mind. And because of this extreme sensitivity towards facing those situations or fears, they are not able to watch or listen any sad or cruel stories, because these stories affect their mind profoundly, which can cause sleeplessness or nightmares in children. Usually Calcarea patients or children especially, they do discuss quite fearful dreams in the consultation. So in Calcarea, you will see this 4 CD issues very prominently, issues related to family, security, money, health. You will find in Calcarea remedy in totality. But they have different attitude than dealing those situations, like I have discussed in last video regarding potassium. I will share definitely more details about all other remedies from this 4 series. Dear listeners, this was today's talk. If you have any questions, please do write me at info@homeopathy4everyone or WhatsApp me. See you next time with another interesting topic. Until then, bye.